Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs! I am Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Ethan Edgehill.
And today we're taking one last trip back to high school.
Or we are until next year. I know we keep saying it's the last one, but it's the last one this time.
Yeah. So grab your Calteen, how does she say it? Calteen bars.
Do you even go here?
Because today we're bringing you...
Mean Girls.
Mean Girls. I'm so excited. Ethan, it's a 1.
Okay, it's a 1.
Yeah. Now, Ethan, this movie was released on April 30th, 2004. That was 5,258 days ago. And I think some of the listeners of this show weren't alive for the release of
I'm
Mean
almost
Girls.
certain they weren't.
That's mind-blowing. So this movie, like I said, 5,258 days ago. Literal aglet budget of $17 million. 129...
Okay, hold on.
What?
Hold on. Last week you described anything under 15 million as shoestring.
I thought we said 25.
No, I don't think so.
No, because originally I was like 15. I was like, that's still not that much. And then I said 50. That's a good amount of money. 25 or less.
Well, I would not call this an aglet budget. This can be a full shoestring.
This is okay. I'll give this a bootstring.
That's longer than a shoestring.
Yeah, bootstrap budget.
What?
I don't know. I'm just thinking about boots.
This movie was not like made on Kickstarter.
No, it wasn't. It was a proper Hollywood film. $17 million. Made less than I would have thought. Probably 3 times over. $129 million worldwide. 83% critic score. 66% Rotten Tomatoes audience score, which matches its Metacritic score. Does that seem low to you?
Yeah, like everybody in the whole world loves this movie.
I was under the impression that this was a universally loved thing.
I guess
I was
not,
also
though.
under the impression that everyone and their mother had seen this movie.
I think they have.
Have they?
I think it did a lot better like after theaters than it did.
I believe that. I do remember.
Movies.
I remember it came out and it was in theaters and a lot of people saw it, but it wasn't like it didn't have the impact. Like it was not as big in theaters. Of course, I was 12 when it was in theaters, but it was not as big in theater. I was 11 in theaters as it was when I was in college. Like I remember when October 3rd landed on a Wednesday when I was in college, the world flipped.
Yeah,
upside
people
down.
freaked out, which is coincidentally why we're doing this movie this week.
Because October 3rd is a
Because
Wednesday.
October 3rd is a Wednesday.
That was yesterday, dear listener. It's tomorrow for us, but yesterday for you.
I mean, I
if
could
you're
put this
listening
out.
to
I
this
could put this out on
release.
Wednesday.
Ooh, that's a bold strategy, Cotton.
I mean, it is possible.
It is. We have the technology.
It's currently Tuesday while we're recording this.
Yeah,
dear
so,
listener.
I don't know. If you're hearing this on Wednesday, then we released it on Wednesday a day early because we've been doing this every year for a whole year now. Or no, every
week for a whole year
For a
now.
whole year on Thursdays. But who knows? Maybe we'll mix it up for the last one. Maybe not, though. I don't know. You'll find out.
We'll talk.
Maybe we'll release it at 11:50 on Wednesday instead of midnight on Thursday.
I could do that. I could definitely do that. Do you have a positive review for this movie for me?
Yeah, the positive reviews are not as unbelievably positive as I would have thought.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
I tried to find one that was lending to the big deal that this movie is.
Okay.
But here I've got Nick Rogers at the Film Yap. I don't know if that's a .com. He gives it a 3.5 out of 4. He says Lindsay Lohan is more likely to die before 30 than to land another lead role as suited to her likely squandered talent. Tina Fey's script is an observant, equal opportunity offender about how high school remains a jungle of hormones and haughtiness.
Was that? Are we sure that was positive?
Yeah, he liked it. He said it's perfect for her.
Yeah, but then he said it's like something offender.
Equal opportunity offender about how high school
right, but
remains a jungle.
Offender makes me think it's bad.
I don't know. He gave it 3.5 out of 4. He seems pretty happy with it.
I did not know Tina Fey wrote this.
You didn't know Tina Fey wrote this?
Not off the top of my head.
Do you know there's no benches in Chicago?
No, that's not true.
I'm pretty sure it is. I read it mistakenly not too long ago.
Andy Lane, top critic from the New Yorker, says, I would be more amused if the topic of rich material girls had not been worn to a thread elsewhere. So I guess he's saying that it's a little bit tired.
How long, when did Clueless come out?
The 90s.
You sure?
Yes.
95, Alicia Silverstone. Okay, that was 10 years.
I
wouldn't call that
Clueless when I was a child, and I thought that Alicia Silverstone was the most attractive woman that had ever lived.
Okay, so this was 10 years after Clueless and 3 years before Gossip Girl, so I'm not really sure what he's talking about. Also, Gossip Girl was on from 2007 to 2012. I was pretty sure it ended in 2003.
It didn't.
Obviously, it ended in 2012. I'm looking at it right now.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of what he's comparing it to. I guess a lot of those 80s comedies were about teenagers of privilege.
I mean, mean, maybe. But that was 30 years before that, or 20 years before that. 30 years before now. I don't know. Even the
Yes,
movies
you
have
can
won.
count to the 80s. I'm proud of you.
I know. I'm very good. I'm really good at math. The limit does not exist. I will say, young me watching this movie did not realize how simple the 12th grade calculus was. With the exception of, like, limits, which I'd never had to... Oh, I did have to study in pre-calc. Yeah, there was not a single thing they talked about in that class that I wasn't like, yeah, I know everything they're saying. And I never took calc.
Me either.
So I was surprised by that.
So we got to do some toothpaste and orange juice.
Ooh, I didn't even think about this week. I've got it.
Okay.
Ready? All right, so this is the segment we do on the show. It's called Toothpaste and Orange Juice. Basically what it is we talk about something that puts a bad taste in your mouth, and we try to have some fun with it. So if you've never listened to the show before, it's a good time, and this section used to be called Injustice in America. Now it is Toothpaste and Orange Juice. Ethan, we're going to count down from 3. Ethan will make a joke about how we can't count down, and then on go, instead of saying go, we'll say the thing, and it'll be fun. We're going to laugh. You ready?
Yeah.
Okay. 3.
Hold on. 3, 2, 1, go?
No, it's
or do we go
on
one?
go. No, we go on go. We don't actually say go. If it were a race, people would run when we say the thing.
Gotcha. Okay.
3, 2, 1.
Fantasy
washing
football.
dishes. Fantasy football, Ethan. Why is fantasy football is upsetting me this week as well?
Okay, let me tell you what. I was this freaking close.
How close
to
is
a
that,
perfect
Ethan?
week.
Like a
To
centimeter
4 and
between
4.
your finger and thumb?
Like, very close. So what happened was, okay,
What happened?
every single year, I draft Andrew Luck. You know why? Because he had a really good year for me back in like 2013.
He didn't play all of last year. You know that.
Okay, yeah, and I still freaking drafted him. You know what? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about that. You want to fight? I'll fight you right now. Anyway, look, okay, Andrew Luck hasn't done jack in like 3 years. I drafted him as my backup, right?
Mm-hmm.
My backup. Behind Drew Brees in one of the leagues I'm in. Behind Drew Brees. Drew Brees, 200 yards from being the greatest quarterback ever in all of history.
You think so? I mean, I know that fact, but do you think that makes him the greatest quarterback in history?
As far as yards goes, yeah. He's about to be the passing yards leader of all time, and he's not going to retire after this year, so he's setting the bar pretty high.
He's very good.
He's very good. Anyway, Drew Brees puts up 8 points. 8!
8, that's it?
8 points this week. 8. In a game which his team won. Now, for those of you who are like, I don't know a dang thing about fantasy football, Ethan, tell me how it works. Well, essentially, every time the quarterback does something good, when he throws the ball and somebody catches it, you get points. When he scores a touchdown, you get points. None of those things happened for Drew Brees this week. None of them.
I mean, he passed for like 200 yards, though. That's something.
Okay, and nobody found the end zone. In a game which his team won. He's an excellent quarterback. Saints games, usually pretty high scoring. I sat down with you in your living room and was like, yeah, I'm going to play Drew Brees. That Saints games are usually high scoring, especially that Saints-Giants game.
Yeah, that's a game that historically has scored like over 100 points.
Last year they played and the Giants, I think, won like 57-55.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah. Okay, well, yes, that didn't happen this week, okay? Did not happen at all. Drew Brees, 8 points. I want to reiterate to you how small of a number 8 is. He's projected around, 19 to 27 every week. He got 8. Normally I wouldn't care because 9 times out of 10, it's like, oh, well, my quarterback scored 8 points, but my backup quarterback scored, 14. So, like, yeah, I made a bad choice, but, like, I probably would have made the choice again. No, Andrew Luck sitting on my bench got 43 points.
That happened to me every week this year so far with Jimmy G and Andy Dalton.
43 is insane.
That's a lot.
That's so many points.
That's a lot of points. Would you have won?
Oh, yeah, I would have crushed.
Did you win anyway?
No, I lost by like 7.
Oh, man, that sucks.
It was close because I had all of my other players went off, man. I scored like 140 points total. Drew Brees got me 8 of them, and I would have had like 180.
You can't win them all, Ethan.
No, I got so close to I'm in 4 leagues. You know how rare a perfect week is in 4 leagues?
I've only won like 1 game per my 3 leagues a week.
I'm doing pretty good in all of my league. Well, maybe not that league. I'm 2-2 in that league. I was playing your brother's wife.
Beth?
Yeah.
You don't mess with Beth on the fantasy football field.
Apparently not.
Let me tell you one thing about my sister-in-law, Beth. Beth is the single greatest fantasy football player of all time. Her record might not reflect it, but let me pull up some stats for you real quick, Ethan. Oh God, you were playing Beth. No wonder you lost. Okay.
Yeah, her team's really good, but my team played really good except for Drew Brees.
Oh man, I don't know if you know this, Ethan. What's her name?
Luke's mom.
Luke's mom. There it is. That's easy enough. She sent a message to the whole league and she was like, we should all have pictures of ourselves so that it's really easy to identify. And I was like, I'm not changing mine from the Chudley Cannon logo.
Yeah, mine is
Crazy?
Gregory Goyle because my name is Goyle Line Stand.
Yeah, so yeah, that's crazy. Okay, Luke's mom has scored second most points on this. So Slither into Victory, which is Matthew Vincent, I think auto drafted, put up 615. Nobody else is close to that. But then Beth put up 568, and then nobody's close to that. Ethan, what's your team name here?
Goyle
Line Stand. Yeah, 542. So really, Beth's beating you, but she's not. Because you're 2 and 2. Well, you're both. She's 1 and 3. Luke keeps getting paired up against the best person in the league that week.
Yeah. Anyway,
me, I have not won many. I have not scored many.
Do you remember a couple years ago in the fraternity league where you tried to call collusion on me? Because not only did I score the most points by like over 600, but like I had the least points scored on me by like over 600 at the end of the league.
Yeah, it was crazy.
Yeah, and I lost because of a garbage time dropped Aaron Rodgers touchdown. Literally, I lost the whole league. It came down to 1 point.
It was against me. I thought Alshon Jeffrey scored a touchdown.
No.
For the Bears.
I was against Kyle.
Oh.
Yeah, I was against Kyle Rhodes. We were actually at chapter retreat like when it happened or whatever.
Chapter retreat. Good times.
Yeah, and Richard Rodgers dropped a touchdown in the end zone, garbage time, like Packers were up like 30 and he just didn't catch it. And that was the end of the game. That was the end of the whole season.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah.
Sucks to your Asmar. Ethan, I want to tell you about washing dishes.
Tell me about washing dishes. I've noticed I'm not going to lie to you. I've noticed it's something you're not very good at.
What do you mean?
In all the years that we've lived together?
Oh, washing dishes is Tyler's chore at the Carlin house, as are most other things. Emily will come on here and she'll tell you that she cleans the house and she organizes this, that, and the other. These are all Tyler jobs. And I know this because Emily has a day job and Tyler does not. So every job is Tyler's job.
All of it.
Anyway, I'm 85% sure I'm allergic to dish soap. I've tried different things. It's not bad enough that I'm like getting hives or anything.
Right.
But anytime I wash dishes, my wrists sort of burn and sort of itch really, really badly. And
that's not good.
Again, I don't get hives. It's not like I'm getting a fever or anything. It's not the end of the world. But I also hate the feeling of my hands being dirty and or wet. So when I'm washing dishes, I will like subconsciously reach for paper towels and dry my hands off in the middle of doing so. And then continue to wash dishes.
That's great.
It's awful. I also live in a house that was built in 1920. So my dishwasher is only 18 inches wide compared to the like regular like 35 inches.
Yeah.
So I can only put so many dishes in there, which is like, I've gotten used to it at this point. But I also don't trust it at all. So basically everything going in there is as clean as it's gonna get. Like if I didn't have it, that's as much as I would clean it. Do you know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
So like, yeah, I don't trust the trap in it whatsoever, which is weird. It's brand new. But anyway, my hands always get awful and there's always dishes to do, and then I never want to put them away. It's like folding laundry. It's like laundry is not just putting it in the washing machine. You got to put it in the washing machine and then move it to the dryer, and then as soon as it's done in the dryer, you have to pull it out and fold it, and then as soon as it's folded, it has to go into the closet. But not only do you have to fold things, you also have to hang things. And I just don't have enough hangers, Ethan, and I don't have enough space in my cabinets for my dishes. I have a lot of dishes and a lot of clothes, and I don't know what to do with all this stuff. And you know what? It's just, I'm a materialistic person and I have a problem just collecting things. Mostly lots of things. Also, living with a woman, there's a lot of different types of clothes. I don't know if you knew this. I thought it was like shirts, pants, that's it.
Nope.
But there's like, how do you hang a skirt? How do you hang a skirt, Ethan?
I have no idea. I'm guessing with a pants hanger.
How do you like fold it over and...
No, you get a pants hanger.
I'll tell you one thing. I learned that a lot of shirts for ladies have those ribbons that you're supposed to hang them on. My wife looks at me, she's like, you're not supposed to use those. You're supposed to cut those out.
What?
And what?
That's what they're for.
That's what I said. But then they're irritating when you're wearing the shirt.
I mean, true, but...
Oh, that would drive me up the wall if there was just 2 ribbons in my shirt that were there for no reason. But there's so many things, and I just can't keep up, Ethan. I can't keep up. That is my toothpaste.
That's your toothpaste.
And orange juice. That's what. There's so many steps involved. I like tasks that you can do start to finish without stopping, and it's not the case with washing dishes or laundry.
No, No, it's not. Laundry is a lot of it's like a lot like catering. A lot of hurry up and wait.
It is. It's like, all right, and it's loaded. Okay.
Yep. And then you start it, and then you wait.
Also, I don't know if this is normal, but every dryer I've ever had has taken much longer to dry clothes than a washer takes to wash them. That's
something wrong with your dryers.
Okay, but that's been the case everywhere. That was the case when we lived in Rappahannock. That was the case when we lived in Port.
That was not the case when we lived in Port.
Yeah, it was.
No, it wasn't.
Yeah, because it would take like 20 minutes to wash clothes or whatever, maybe 40, and it would take a minimum hour to dry them.
You might be right. I might be thinking about this backwards. I think I am. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Unless you go to like a laundromat and it dries your clothes in like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I'd be all about that. I've actually considered, even though I have a washer and dryer in my home, going to the laundromat.
Don't. The solution is buy one of those dryers.
Ethan, back to the Ty doesn't have a day job problem.
You're about to solve that.
What's that? Oh, I know.
You'll solve that soon.
I don't currently. But anyway, so then like when you're, I know I've dwelled on this, but like then the drying process, like you can't, now you got wet clothes. Here's my Maytag. Are you listening? The Maytag man. The man who comes into my home and washes my clothes. You can just lie to me. Just keep spin cycling my clean clothes in the washer for as long as it takes to dry clothes. And I will believe it wholeheartedly.
But the problem is
like,
then your clothes are dry, but not like properly dried. They're just musty.
You can spritz some water in there throughout. I'm not a Maytag engineer, Ethan. And I don't think you are either, is there a badge you need to show me? Do you have a badge? Are you a cop? Do you have to tell me if you're a cop?
No.
Interesting. I've got this Lego figure here that says you're a cop.
I have a wand. Oh, have the Lego figures made it to the desk?
Well, they're not on the desk, but they've made it to my house.
They've made it to the area that we do the things.
Yes.
So that when we have a studio,
we can put them there. Which fell over for. Anyway,
Harry Potter.
Mean Girls.
My Harry Potter pop on my desk is currently standing up. He has been like that for days now.
That's crazy.
I have never been more proud of him.
Yeah, I would not have the same luck were there a pop on my desk.
No, my other pops are fine. Well, Finn has a base. My other pops are fine, and BB-8 is a base. Korg does not have a base, but he got thick feet.
I've got a bunch of pops on my bookshelf. Well, I've got 4. But if you want to send me pops, ladies and gentlemen, you totally can.
Yeah,
I'll open them and definitely not stab them. P.O. Box 3025, Roanoke, Virginia 24015. Anyway, I've got pops on this bookshelf.
Don't send me a BB-8 pop, because I already have one, and there are 3 BB-8s on my desk.
Ethan loves BB-8 more than you love
apparently so
pizza.
Although
Ethan Hart BB-8 more than the rest of the world loves pizza. I want you to know that's the truth. All Ethan thinks about day in, day out is BB-8. Send Ethan BB-8 everything.
So here's how it really happened, is I was in Target, and they were like, we've got a sale on the giant BB-8 Lego. And I was like, I need it. End of story. And I bought it.
I have to have it.
I bought it, and I regretted no part of it.
Yeah, have you had fun building it?
Yeah, I had fun building it. It took me 6 whole hours.
6 hours? That's a well-made Lego.
It's a lot of pieces. He's really solid.
Yeah? Could you drop him?
His head will probably pop off. Not gonna lie to you, but other than that, yeah, I got BB-8, and then on the BB-8 there is a little BB-8 in front of it, like a minifigure, and then I have a BB-8 pop. Because Katie was at work when she worked at Target and was just like, it was so cute, I had to buy it, and it is cute. All right, let's talk about Mean Girls.
Mean Girls. This is the best teen I take back everything I said about the other teen movies with the exception of Dead Poet Society. This is the teen movie I identify with more than other teen movies. But it does criminal offense to Mean Girls and most other teen movies that I would love to bring up, and I think Mean Girls tries to rectify it in the end, but I think it's important to note. Ethan, do you know what I'm upset about? Probably not, because I've never talked about it before.
Nope, I have no idea.
Here's my problem with Mean Girls, Perks of Being a Wallflower, To All the Boys I've Loved Before, all of these freaking teen movies is that we are introduced to characters who have been going to high school for 40 years. Like, they exist and talk about the culture in the beginning and end of the year like they have done it millions of times.
What do you mean?
Like the spring fling thing. It was like, obviously, Regina is going to win spring fling because she's Regina George and she always wins spring fling. I know they don't say that last part explicitly, but it's sort of implied that like every year there is a court that we vote upon as a class, and every year, despite the fact that literally everyone hates her, we vote for Regina George. And it's
called
like
Homecoming.
Yeah, but at Homecoming we voted for people we like, and it was always a surprising thing. I remember at our high school, which I've also learned was just the greatest school of all time.
Yeah, that I have definitely learned.
Where everyone was
We went
nice.
to this amazing high school where like people were mean to the mean people.
Right.
And that was pretty much it.
And you made dumb decisions and you had your own drama with your friends. But like, I would never expect like the football players to come up to me and just be rude for no reason.
Right. Or like physically harm me.
Yeah. Or the popular girls for that matter. They didn't talk to me, but they weren't like, you're a disgusting person.
Yeah. I went to college and ran into one of the popular girls from our high school, and she like apologized to me for being terrible in high school.
That sounds about right.
Yeah.
But they weren't terrible.
I mean, some of them were fairly hard to get along with type people.
I mean, they definitely had a very exclusive clique, and they definitely knew they were the popular girls, but I don't think that they were like writing a burn book about us. Or about the other girls. They were the plastic. I remember very vividly, our class, I feel like the cliques they left each other alone more. It was like they existed, but it wasn't like important for you to mingle with them. Like you just accepted like this is my group of friends and that's their group of friends. But I very vividly remember the class below us had a dynamic where it was like, you need to know and be a part of everyone's business.
Yeah, that was absolutely a thing.
Yeah. I very vividly remember that because I remember when and it started as early as middle school because I remember we did in middle school there was like some assembly that was only for the class below us when we were in 7th grade. Like the 7th graders and 8th graders didn't have to do it when they were in 6th grade. And I remember asking a teacher, I was like, why are they doing this assembly where they're all together and we never did anything like that? And I remember my teacher being like, they have a different dynamic. Like it would work so much better for this group than it would have for your group.
And that just goes back to what we talked about. I don't remember which episode. We talked about there is a generational gap that ends at our age.
Yeah, there's like something different about the kids younger than us.
Yeah, and I mean, technically, like, I think Gen Z starts with 1995 kids.
Okay, so that would be the year after the year after us.
The year after us. But like, there's definitely a difference. And it was a lot stronger with the year after us.
I don't remember those people.
I remember them from like marching band and stuff. And I was like, I don't know what you kids are talking about ever.
Oh man, I do remember. I remember, and this is, how do I relate this to Mean Girls? But I remember when I was a freshman thinking the juniors were amazing. And then when I was a junior, not feeling like the freshmen thought of me the same way I thought of the juniors when I was their age. I know I've had this conversation before.
Well, yeah, and I also don't think that the juniors thought about you the same way as we thought about the juniors when we were juniors.
Yes.
Like, I maintain that it is a reciprocal relationship.
Yes.
Like, I just want to go back to, it wasn't just we thought the juniors and seniors were really cool, and they hated us.
No, they thought we were really cool.
Yeah, they thought we were really cool. If we all got along. And then when the kids younger than us started to come in, it was just like, I don't care about you people. You are you.
Because we were on like a totally different wavelength.
Yeah, it was just not even comparable.
Yeah. So anyway, Mean Girls.
So you're saying you don't get along with your wife because she's a year younger than you?
No, I actually truly exclusively, since sophomore year of high school, have only been in long-term relationships with women a year younger than me.
Cradle robber.
Yeah. Me, devil. Sorry.
Sorry.
They weren't like 20 years younger than me.
Ow. Ow.
Ethan, what did you learn from Mean Girls watching it this time?
It holds up a lot better than I ever think it's going to. Like,
you ever thought it was going to?
Yeah. Well, no, not even that. It's like every time I watch it, I'm waiting for it to not be funny.
I did notice, it definitely felt like this was the first time for me that I watched it and I was like, this is from a different generation.
It is fairly ageless though. Like a lot of what they talk about when Janice is going through listing off, all the different cliques that exist at the school, I'm like, this is just different sects of people on Twitter in 2018.
Oh, it totally is.
Everyone belongs to one of those groups.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't include like Tom Holland stans and all that.
I mean, the language may have changed a little bit.
Right. Sorry, sexually active band geeks, I guess fits that description.
They became Tom Holland stans. Now, I've somehow gotten involved in this thing where, like, there's, like, 50 different, maybe not 50, but a bunch of different Fall Out Boy stan accounts. Not, like, stan pages, but, like, people that are huge Fall Out Boy stans follow me. Mm-hmm. And I follow a couple of them back because they're funny, and they just all retweet each other constantly, and it's like, so every now and then, my timeline will just be eaten by, like, oh my god, I love Pete Wentz more than anybody alive. Holy shit. He's the most beautiful person that's ever existed. And it's just like everything on my Twitter timeline. I'm like, how did this happen?
Because, Ethan, you are a Fall Out Boy stan.
I am not a Fall Out Boy stan. No, Fall Out Boy stans, and this is what I've learned about Fall Out Boy stans. Fall Out Boy stans love the new album.
They do?
Yes.
I thought everyone hated the new album.
No, Fall Out Boy stans love the new album.
I also learned this about Panic Fan. They also loved the new album.
I don't have much of an interaction with like real Brendan Urie stans.
Oh, that's what I see on my Twitter timeline. If there's a musician that makes it through my timeline, it's Brendan Urie.
But there's one dude I don't even know why I follow him back. I don't even know if I follow him back or his stuff just always gets retweeted. But he was like, he just flew to America from England to go to like 7 shows on the Fall Out Boy tour.
That's insane.
And I'm like,
I wouldn't go, like, I like Fall Out Boy well enough. I would not leave the state of Virginia to see Fall Out Boy.
I mean, I would, because it's the places that they're going to play are going to be in North Carolina. But
I'd go to like Virginia Beach.
Yeah, but it'll be closer if you just go to Charlotte. Like,
that's true.
By like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, but I don't know anybody in Charlotte. I know a lot of people in Virginia Beach.
You do?
I mean, I know enough that I could crash somewhere.
In Virginia Beach?
No. Well, Portsmouth, that counts, right? Whatever, close enough.
Anyway.
The Hampton
But
Roads general area.
These Fall Out Boy stands, they love the new album. And there's this whole big thing on like not gatekeeping about it, and like you don't have to, you be nice to the people that only started listening with Save Rock and Roll. And that makes me not a Fall Out Boy stan, because I'm like, you're not a real fan if you didn't listen before Save Rock and Roll.
You weren't alive for Fall Out Boy.
Right, it's like, I saw them a couple years ago, and they started playing something off one of the old albums, and the girl next to me was just like, I've never heard this song. And it was like, thanks for the memories.
Oh, God.
But she knew every word to the songs off like American Beauty, American Psycho, and I was like, I hate you. I really hate you, person.
You're the worst.
Anyway,
that was how I felt when we saw Panic.
I didn't feel like that. That was a great show. I thoroughly enjoyed that evening.
I enjoyed the evening. I felt very old.
You keep saying that.
I did.
Why?
Because there was our generation was not represented. There was teenagers and parents and us.
No, there were people our age, because Weezer was playing.
No, people our age don't like Weezer. People like you like Weezer. Like the music stands.
I know a lot of people like Weezer. Weezer is well respected.
I mean, I well respect Weezer. No doubt about that.
Weezer is one of those bands where I really hate when I talk about Weezer, because like their old albums just really are better.
That's the truth. Panic at the Disco and Fall Out Boy.
Nah, I disagree with that to some extent. I love Save Rock and Roll. Loved it.
Save Rock and Roll was full of bangers.
So that was Death of the Bachelor. So was Death of the Bachelor. Just saying.
Anyway, you know what movie didn't have a good soundtrack?
I'm sure it did in 2004. Yeah, that was the one thing I noticed, was that like the soundtrack to Mean Girls did not hold up. They started playing some of the songs, I'm like, that dates it right there.
There it is.
This is mid 2000s, early 2000s like pop.
Right. There were songs I was like, I don't know if I ever knew this song. But
I had never heard most of those songs.
I think that was the thing back then, was that you didn't pick like ultra mainstream music. Like you needed something that if you listened to it, somebody'd be like, oh, you heard of that from Mean Girls.
Well, they were all trying to be The Breakfast Club and 10 Things I Hate About You. Movies like known for their soundtracks.
I won't lie to you. People tell me I'm critically wrong for this. The song at the end of The Breakfast Club was the wrong song.
The Don't You Forget About Me?
Yeah, it doesn't fit.
Sure it does.
No. The way he like pumps his fist is so cringy.
Oh, I love it.
Oh my gosh. It's the worst.
I love it.
It is the worst. It is the second worst part of that whole movie. The other part being when whatever the jock's name is busts a window with his voice.
What a great movie.
Oh, yeah. I love The Breakfast Club. Great film.
Wait, what do you mean? That's a better movie for us to have covered than Breakfast at Tiffany's.
Oh, that's true. Next year, for Back to School, we cover The Breakfast Club.
We should have done that this week. Dang.
You know what?
You live and you learn.
You live and you learn. Mean Girls is good, though.
Mean Girls is good. It's really funny. It is really funny. This is the first movie we watched, I think, for the show where I, like, laughed out loud.
A lot.
The whole time. It's still funny. That's what I was saying earlier, is like, I'm waiting for the time where I watch it and it's not funny.
I will say its first act and a half are much funnier than its second act and a half.
Yeah. Once Regina gets hit with the bus, I'm kind of done with the movie.
Oh yeah, then I'm like, you could have just rolled credits right there.
And that's how Regina George died. No, not really. She got better. But then like Katie doesn't learn her lesson.
Katie does learn her lesson. She goes and she distributes the crown to everyone.
Right. That happened after Regina got hit by the bus.
Oh yeah. You're saying if it ends right there, then
right,
she doesn't
learn
her
if you roll
lesson.
Credits right there, then she doesn't learn her lesson. There's no moral. It's just like she got away with being terrible to people.
Right.
Terrible.
I think she shouldn't, like, Regina getting hit by the bus obviously sucks, right?
Right.
But I don't think Katie or Regina should get away with any of this.
No, and like Regina getting hit by the bus doesn't make Regina a better person.
Right. Tragedy doesn't make you a good person.
Right. Like you still suck.
Right. You still wrote the burn book and lied about it and caused like a riot in your school.
Yeah. She's just an awful person. Katie gets herself stuck into being an awful person, but isn't like, she's not inherently evil.
No, but I think she does grow into being evil. Like, she has an addiction to evil.
Yeah, she was primed for it. I mean, she was gonna just cling to the first people that showed her affection.
No, because the first people that showed her affection was Damien and
right, and then she thought she was doing right by them by fitting in with Regina, and then she got shanghaied into it.
Right.
And it wasn't like Janice and Damien are the best role models either. They're also terrible people.
Yeah, Janice had cancer, though.
What?
Yeah, that's why she drops out of school, and then she comes back and her head's all shaved.
Oh,
she
yeah.
got cancer.
Yeah. Right. Well, okay, but...
right, tragedy doesn't make you a good person.
What did we talk about last week? Having cancer doesn't make you a good person.
That's what we just talked about just now, except instead of cancer, it was a bus hitting you.
Right.
I will say the foreshadowing in like the very first scene when she steps in front of the school and a bus almost hits her was genius.
That was lost on me as a child.
It was lost on me until this viewing.
Well, yeah, I mean, I haven't seen this movie since the last October 3rd. I watched it.
Yeah, it's been a while since I'd seen it as well.
Wednesday,
but I very
October
much
3rd.
Enjoyed it.
Whenever the last one happened, 2014, 14
27 Hife.
Dune Hife. Nope. 2015. When was it? It can't be 2015. That doesn't make sense.
wasn't.
It wasn't. When was it?
2013? No, it was a Thursday then. It's 2012 maybe?
Maybe I didn't watch it. Well, I watched it on some October 3rd. It might not have been the Wednesday, October 3rd. But I remember
October
I watched
3rd,
it on October 3rd.
2012.
I watched it on October 3rd when we lived in Port. Addie Swindler and I watched it together on October 3rd. That was the last time I saw Mean Girls.
Shout out Addie.
I was intoxicated, so I don't really remember watching it. So I haven't seen this movie in a while. I can still, I know all the quotes. I know the quippy bits. I know when to say "boo you whore."
Boo you whore.
Like it is a very quotable movie, and it passes the GIF test.
It does. I feel like this was before GIFs, but they made very careful to make sure that like you could see somebody saying the quippy comeback, that you could turn it into a GIF.
And none for Gretchen Wiener's bye.
That's one of the ones I think overrated quote is the "two for you, Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco."
I mean, it's just one of those things that like Mean Girls has been so accepted into the dialect.
Right.
It's like, and people who don't even know what it's from, like people who are clearly too young to see to have seen the movie and like have the relationship that we do with it are just like, yeah, you go, Glen Coco. Like youth on social media say that, and I'm just like, it's just part of language now.
Yeah, you weren't alive.
Like,
and none for Gretchen Wiener's bye.
This is one of those movies you quote without realizing you're quoting, is what I'm getting at.
Right.
Because you'll say quotes from this movie and be like, wait, what was that? Oh, Mean Girls. Mean Girls is where that's from. That was that line I just said.
Mean Girls. It's 4 for you, Glen Coco. I don't want to get it wrong.
You go, Glen Coco. Glen Coco's not even like a character.
Do you have a favorite character? I mean, not a character. Quote?
A favorite quote? Ooh, I don't know. That's a tough one. There's so many very usable quotes in this movie that you can quote in your everyday life.
Yeah.
Like I tell people that they can't sit with us all the time.
You can't sit with us!
All the time. Gretchen Wiener's had cracked. And like every Ides of March, I think about we should totally just stab Caesar. Brutus is just as cute as Caesar. Brutus is just as smart as Caesar. Why does one person always get to be the boss?
Oh my God. We should totally just stab Caesar.
Stab Caesar.
Gretchen Wiener's had finally cracked.
Yeah, Gretchen Wiener's had cracked. Yeah, I think about that one all the time. I use that one. I use I don't even know. There's so many good quotes in this movie. Do you have a favorite character? Or do you have a favorite quote?
I'll tell you a character that I thought had more screen time than they do is Amanda Seyfried's character, Karen. She's like barely in the movie.
Yeah, but she's got boobs that can protect the weather. Well, they can tell you what the weather is actively.
Yeah, mine can too.
She's got a fifth sense, Tyler.
Yeah, it's like she's got ESPN or something.
I do think that is one of my favorite lines in the movie when Karen is just like, she's like, Karen, you're not stupid. And she's like, yeah, I am. I'm like failing everything.
That girl. She's not going to college. No way.
No, well, she's the heir to the toaster strudel fortune or whatever.
That's true.
She doesn't need to go to college.
Wait, no, I get Gretchen and Regina's character names mixed up.
Gretchen Wieners is the other one. Regina George is the main. Rachel McAdams.
Yeah.
And then there's Karen Smith?
Karen Smith.
Yeah. And Katie Heron.
What is the writer trying to communicate? Is it just that her friend calls her Caddy, even though it's Katie? Is that the only reason it's spelled Cady?
Probably.
And like that's to show like that she's quirky and she cares about her, but she does her own thing.
But she is kind of catty as well.
Well, that's true.
Like in the definition of the word.
Yeah, I mean they are catty.
Yeah, catty means deliberately hurtful in one's remarks.
Dang.
Also relating to cats. So yeah, I think that's part of it.
Our high school had junior plastics, but they were the same plastics senior year.
What do you mean?
There was like a group of 2 or 3 girls that were like...
Oh, I don't think he was trying to say they were juniors. I think he just meant like plastic junior, like little plastic, because she said they're freshmen. She says right after that, she's like, if any freshmen try to get in the way, we know how to deal with them, and they get hit by the bus.
You can't say junior then.
I had the same thought when we were just watching it. I was like, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I was like,
I do want to... Can I point something out?
What?
There are a lot of listeners to this show who are from abroad.
Abroad?
Abroad. If you are not familiar with the American high school system, school in America starts with kindergarten, and then you go from 1st grade to 12th grade. Your grade at the end of the year, it's fall to spring. For most people, your grade at the end of the year is the grade plus 6. So 1st grade, you turn 7. 2nd grade, you turn 8. The easiest way to remember that is that you graduate in 12th grade, and you graduate when you're 18. The 4 years of high school, for most of America, are 8th, 9th, are 9th, 10th, 11th, and 12th grade. Also called freshman, sophomore, junior, and senior year, respectively.
Although they're starting to get away from that.
What?
Yeah, apparently freshman is an offensive term.
I remember when we were freshmen, there was National Kick a Freshman Day, and it was a good time.
Yeah, so apparently freshman is an offensive term because it is sexist, and it only refers to the men in the group. So there are movements all over the place trying to get it changed to 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th year.
No, Ethan. When you talk to a group of people in most languages, if you're talking to a mixed group, group who use the masculine form of the term.
Right, and that is now sexist.
That's ridiculous. That's just how language
only in
works.
English.
Right.
Because English doesn't have those rules. That is not
we should adopt that
not a
rule.
prescriptive rule of English. That is a colloquial rule of English.
I mean, it is that rule, though, because we call freshmen freshmen. I mean, although you wouldn't call a single freshman girl a fresh woman.
Right.
That would be an uncomfortable thing to say. Hello, fresh woman.
But like, they don't teach you in, first grade grammar that you say you guys to a group of mixed company.
You can.
Yes, you can. It is not a rule.
Interesting. So,
Are you hearing what I'm
say
saying?
that, like,
Are you hearing what I'm saying?
I hear what you're saying, but you're telling me that if you take English in 9th grade and you live in Spain, they don't teach you
English
like, when
doesn't
you're
have
saying
like hard conjugations like that.
Really?
Yeah, because like you say I run, you run, we run, they run.
Yeah.
He, she,
but
it
like,
runs.
when you get to vosotros,
Y'all run.
and you say y'all run, you all run. Interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah, no,
What
there's
about,
no conjugation there. It's not like it doesn't follow a hardline rule like that. It's the same with all the Germanic languages. The Romance languages are different because they have the conjugations. Like you have the vosotros form, you have the
ustedes.
the ustedes, you have the.
I just want let me make clear right now. If you ever speak to me in Spanish, I expect you to use the formal usted.
Listen to.
Listen up to.
So we don't have the masculine feminine thing either.
Yeah, we do.
No, we don't.
A ship or vessel is feminine.
Okay, again,
That's why you
colloquialism.
refer to your boat as a she.
Right, but it's not like we say there's not a different the for feminine. There's
Right.
not like you call it the chair or the wall, and they're masculine and feminine.
Well, you do say that. The chair, the wall.
You can say the chair, the wall.
The chair, the wall. I guess so. I'm learning so much about language. Ethan is a pronounced linguist.
I am not a certified linguist.
But you have a degree in a language.
Yeah,
That's not
I have a
English.
minor in linguistics.
There you go. I'd call that certified. Do you have a certification?
No.
Like a big plaque that says Ethan Edgehill graduated from the School of Hard Knocks.
If you want to get me a plaque that says that, I'm not gonna be upset.
Let me tell you what our university was not.
The School of Hard Knocks.
The School of Hard Knocks. Our university was a bastion of higher education and liberal learning.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah. So we don't. However, we got on this topic. Freshman. That's how we did. Yeah. Freshman is an offensive term in English because we don't have a rule, but we do it anyway.
Okay. Well,
So people want to
obviously
change
I'm
it
a
to
man.
first, second, third, and fourth years. That is all I was getting at. And there are
I'm not
places where
for
they're
it.
called first, second, third, and fourth years.
Like UVA.
I'm in high school.
Oh, that's stupid.
People who refer to their grade level in college, just who cares?
Right. More importantly, how old are you, and can we go to the bar?
Right. Oh, I'm a freshman. After that, it doesn't matter because everybody follows their own path.
Oh yeah, that's sort of one of the things. Like we do not talk about movies at all in this show. Anyway, our community college would always be like, you can do this 2-year program where we'll transfer your credits and then you'll get a 4-year degree in 4 years, but you'll only pay for community college prices. Every single person I know that went to that community college, with minimal exception, was there for not 2 years, either like 1.5 years or like 2.5 years or like 1 semester. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, that happens a lot with community college.
Yeah, their 2-year to college program. I don't believe it.
Well, because in community college, and somebody told me this one time as to why it's so easy to quit community college. This is just they don't care. Like the school doesn't care if you quit.
Right,
They just let you do it. Like, there's no advisor being like, "Are you sure you want to drop out, dude? Like, you're not registered for classes, right? Like, there's a semester coming up. Like, the registration for next semester is presumptive with a regular college
right, until you graduate.
And even then, you still get the emails.
I know. I still, had drop just ended. I don't know if you knew.
Well, yeah, because I was still signed into my email for a good like year after I graduated, and
Oh, I still am.
I'm not because my password expired.
Mine is too.
Yeah, and so I got emails that were like, you haven't registered for classes for the fall semester. I'm like, I graduated.
Right. Obviously, I didn't.
Like, y'all can tell me whatever, but I have a diploma.
Yeah, a degree.
Yeah.
A diploma. You get a diploma in high school. I think somebody told me that.
No, it is still a diploma.
Is it?
That's the name of the certificate.
Your mom's the certificate.
Diploma. I'm pretty sure about that.
I was told you get a
A
diploma in
certificate
high school.
awarded by an educational establishment to show that somebody has successfully completed a course of study. It is the name of the certificate.
Okay. I mean, I can
The
jive with
degree
that.
is the course of study.
Okay.
Diploma versus degree.
You reading?
Yeah, the degree is not the certificate. The degree is the course of study.
So, Mean Girls.
The degree is what
Give
the degree is what the diploma certifies.
Give me a question for discussion on Mean Girls. Let's riff.
Let's riff. A little baby. Mean Girls. So how does this movie portray high school compared to the rest of the movies we talked about high school? And do you think this one gets it more or less right than the other high school movies?
So I think this definitely takes a different approach in that it's about the popular kids. And I think it's told from the perspective, like, I feel like the way it was written was like, this is how an unpopular person thinks that popular people exist.
Yeah. It's also a lot more about school than the rest of them. Like, it's about...
Well, not more than, like, Dead Poet Society.
No, but it shows, like, the actual minutia of school. Like, Katie can't go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I thought that was funny.
And, like, it shows how she's perceived, she and the plastics are perceived to the rest of the school. Like, in Person Being a Wallflower, like, it didn't matter. Nobody cared what the jocks thought about him. Like,
right. Well, I mean, there was that one jock.
Yeah, but, like, for the most part, there was the relationship didn't matter.
Right.
With the other cliques.
Yeah, it was all self-contained. It wasn't about, like, they kept doing the, like, sort of workplace comedy sort of interviews with the other students, being like, Regina George punched me in the face one time. It was awesome.
Yeah, and everyone's been victimized by Regina George, even the faculty.
Right.
But the principal raises his hand and is just like, that's me.
Yeah, me IRL.
Principal is one of my favorite characters.
Yeah, he was more involved than I thought.
He's funny because he's just so, like, ex-cop over this kind of guy.
Yeah, he's like, this is so annoying.
What does he say when he slams the fire alarm?
I don't know.
Right, okay, so he's about to hit the fire alarm with the baseball bat and goes, no, I did not leave the South Side for this.
I get the idea that the South Side... Oh, they're in, like, out suburban Chicago,
they're
right?
in Evanston, Illinois.
Yeah, and it's Illinois, so it's suburban Chicago.
I guess so.
What's-his-face goes to Northwestern.
Okay, where's Northwestern?
Chicago.
I know nothing about Chicago.
Huh, there's a giant bean.
I know that. Like,
and a football team that's leading the NFC North.
Half a game.
I mean, that's a lead is a lead is a lead is a lead.
Okay, so it is a suburb, a north suburb of Chicago.
The South Side is?
No, Evanston.
Oh, I was like, that's a weird name for South Side.
It's right next to Willamette, which is where Fall Out Boy came from.
Look at that.
Me, the Fall Out Boy stan.
Yeah, you're making connections.
Yeah. Where's that in relation to Barrington?
Barrington? Is that what took place in Barrington?
The Academy is.
Oh, man.
Fast Times at Barrington High.
Oh, yeah.
Barrington
God's gift to music.
Barrington is a little bit farther outside of Chicago, but it is also north side. North, but not on the water.
There's no benches in Chicago. I don't know if you knew that.
I did. Turns out. Yeah, so again, it's hard for me to know if this movie got it right, just because our high school was so different from the high schools portrayed in most of these movies. And that's what I'm always thinking about, though, is it's got to be like this somewhere, or they wouldn't keep making these movies.
I'm sorry, can you repeat that?
Yeah, what were you doing?
Sorry, I got totally spaced.
I was just saying, it's hard for me to put myself in the position of these movies because our high school wasn't like this, but it always makes me think that it's got to be like this somewhere, or they wouldn't keep making these movies.
Yeah, I think that's accurate. And I also think, I was thinking about it while we were watching this, this definitely happens a generation before we were in high school. And there's some timelessness to it. Same with Breakfast Club, same with, To All the Boys I've Loved Before. But I think the movie that best captures our high school experience, even just a little displaced after our time, we haven't reviewed yet on this show, was 21 Jump Street.
The one about the drug dealers?
Yeah. I mean, like, drugs obviously weren't a huge thing at our high school. Definitely not a huge part for us. I don't know if they were a huge part of our high school. If they were not happening in front of me. But I remember watching that movie and thinking, like, this is a more accurate portrayal of how sort of the jocks and the nerds and the, the cool kids and the smart kids and the band kids and everybody sort of interacted at our high school than, something like this, where it was like the sexually active band geeks just don't talk to anyone else.
Right.
Like, I remember very vividly in high school, my brother telling me that, or my mom telling me that popularity meant having the most friends. And that's obviously not possible here because Regina George is only friends with 2 people.
Right. But popularity for the group under us meant what it means for the plastics.
Right. It was whoever was the hottest. And
if you were that one girl's
influence.
Facebook friend, you were in.
Right.
But that was a weird thing. This chick only had 8 Facebook friends at a time.
Wait, who is this? Oh, yeah.
She was a couple years younger than us.
High school. She went to Hidden Valley.
Did she go to Hidden Valley?
Yeah.
I thought she went to our high school.
No.
Oh, well, kids from our high school were Facebook friends with her.
Yeah, she did Young Life, and she did that kind of stuff. And she was one of the...
If you were if you were Facebook friends with her at any given point, and it would come and go, if you got deleted, you were out.
Yeah, she ran the show. Which is weird, because her mom, ran for local office. You'd think that there was, a just be friends with everyone
her mom was
mentality.
A jeweler.
Her mom at some point ran for local office.
No, I know that, but her mom was also a jeweler.
Yeah. Well, hey, I mean, you gotta be doing something.
While the local... she succeeded in running for local office, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, she was elected, if I'm not mistaken. Good luck getting that friendship. I believe she's an avant-garde photographer.
She has 84 Facebook friends now, so she's kind of slow to roll a little. Yeah, if you were that girl's... I'm obviously not going to leave her name in here. But if you were that girl's Facebook friend, you made it.
Yeah, you were cool now.
Yeah, you were a thing. You were in. You could be out at any time, but you were in. While you were Facebook friends with that girl, even if she went to a different school, you were in. That was the status symbol. And like, we just didn't have that in our age, in our grade,
right.
in our level. It's like, yeah, we had cliques, so to speak. We all had our friend groups, but it's like, it wasn't like nobody talked to anybody else.
Right. Like, the reason the cliques exist is because of the extracurriculars you do. Like, and this was especially apparent with, you know, the band geek thing, because it was like, I took 4 different music classes during the day, as well as jazz band before school and marching band after school. So obviously I saw the music kids all day, every day. I didn't have time to be friends with the football players, and they didn't have time to be friends with me.
They all did 3 sports, and
right.
You know, they did track and field in the spring and played soccer in the spring.
Right. They did indoor track and soccer.
Right. They didn't have time to be friends with us. It was like they saw those people all day, every day. But it's like, we went to class and they were perfectly nice. We did projects together, you know. It wasn't like don't start. I don't even want to go there. But it wasn't like, oh crap, I gotta work with the soccer player on this. What am I gonna do? I'm such a band geek. They're gonna disown me because I'm talking to the first person I thought it was Drew Seymour, but
Drew
was also a band geek.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it just didn't work like that for us. And you know, we've been harping the same point for 5 weeks now of like, well, our high school didn't work like this. Yokes, if your high school resembled one of the high school movies we've talked about in the past few weeks, let us know, because we're very curious as to where this happens and what it looks like in the real world. Obviously, this is an exaggerated representation. It always is. It's a movie. They want to make a good movie.
Right.
Like,
got Hollywood it up.
Right. So this amount of drama does not happen ever.
No, if a girl got hit by a bus or there was like a riot because of some bullying thing, it would be national news.
Right. Like, nobody writes a burn book and like shows it to the entire school. That would be a huge deal.
And that person would just straight up be disowned.
But these problems do exist somewhere. They have to.
Yeah. Obviously.
And I mean, and I know that's a big part of this is like, girls are way too mean to each other. Always.
Yes.
Every girl has done it. All of you. None of you are innocent. Ye listening.
Yeah. If we learned anything about teenage boys recently, it's that we're not nice either. But
right. But, like, nobody is innocent. Everybody, and that's the whole thing, is when Tina Fey has all the girls raise their hand, and they're just like, if you've been bullied, and then if you've bullied somebody else. Like, everybody said a thing, maybe not bullied, but if you've said a thing behind somebody's back, and you've had a thing said behind your back, everyone does it. It's part of the human condition. And I'm not saying that that's a good thing, or that we should be proud of that. I'm just saying that it is a thing that happens everywhere, and if we can work to not do that, we're just all gonna be happier. And that's, like, a huge part of growing up. Because, like, at my age...
That's, like, a big stage.
Right, in my age, like, if I don't like somebody, I just don't talk to them.
Yeah, but the world for us is so much bigger than it is for high schoolers.
Well, like, because we're not forced into the same building every day.
With, 200 people every day, or, however many people.
Yeah, with these hundreds of kids, you see all these kids in your class, and like, yeah, if you didn't like them, you were still forced to deal with them. And it's like, and long as they're not your coworkers, like, if there's somebody you don't want to talk to, you just don't talk to them.
Right. Yeah, it's like, especially with the coworkers thing, it's like, I've noticed as a professional that if there's somebody I don't get along with at work, I typically just don't talk to them. Like, I'll just find time to be friends with someone else. The plastics didn't do anything. I think that's what gets me more than anything.
No, they sat around their asses at Regina's house being mean to people.
Right. Like, all the other ones had an extracurricular to identify with.
Right.
But the plastics, they just existed.
Well, that's the whole point. Their extracurricular is being awful.
They
blow everything off just to sit around between the 4 of them and complain.
Yes. Because, and I do remember this about being young, is doing anything, caring about anything, spending time on anything.
Oh, it made you a tryhard and a jackass.
And not cool.
Yeah, not cool.
Not cool. I remember we did run into this problem a little bit in college when we got into Greek life, and there was a short time where if something wasn't like traditionally frat, it was not interesting to me.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all get our hobbies, and our hobbies become obsessions and they fade.
Yeah.
That's how a thing happens.
Right. I'll tell you, the way my brain processes things is I assume everyone goes, like, I'm very bad about projecting my feelings on other people.
I do the same.
So I'll assume that like say temporarily you're really into fishing shirts. Like, it's all you can find. It's all you care about. I assume everybody I talk to is at some part of their journey with their interest in fishing shirts. So they either haven't discovered it yet, are in the same place I am, or have already been through this phase in life.
Somebody is on their journey of acceptance of fishing shirts, whether they actually are or not.
Right. And they either like, what I never realize is that like, not only has this not happened yet to this person, this is never going to happen to this person. Like, they're just not going to care about this the way that you did. And they are interested in things. And I also assume everybody goes through the same progression. And this is like my immediate assumption. It's definitely wrong. But I assume that like, they went from craft beer to fishing shirts to whatever the next thing is the same way that I did. So it's like, if they're sitting to me talking about craft beer, I'm like, oh, that's great, you're into craft beer. You just wait about another month of your life, you're going to discover the most amazing Oxford shirts ever. Does that make sense?
No, for sure.
Like, I assume everybody's going through the same phases in the same order, but
They're
at
not.
different
Everybody
speeds.
has their own
Different
their own
interests and
path,
hobbies.
their own interests and path. Now, I do run into people occasionally that do not have hobbies.
That would stress me out.
It does stress me out, especially because like I have friends who like they don't do anything. Like I legitimately don't know what they do, or not friends, maybe friends, acquaintances, people I've known in the past that they don't do anything. They do their job or they do their school and they come home and they just exist. They scroll through their phone, whatever, and go to sleep. And they're the same kind of people that are like, wow, you play video games? What a waste of time.
Right, everything's a waste of time.
Like, yeah, at least I'm doing something, dude. Like I have a hobby. I don't know if video games is what I'd call a hobby. It's like I like to play video games sometimes.
I like to stream. Ethan likes to stream Stardew Valley. He's very good at it.
Am I?
Yes, Ethan's stream of Stardew Valley was very good, and if you like to watch people play Stardew Valley, be sure to follow Bacon and Eggs on Twitter or on Twitch. You can go straight to follow us on Twitch, and you'll get notifications every time we go live. Ethan plays Stardew Valley, and I play Sims, and we might mix some other things in. But if you didn't know that's what we do, I just want to let you know right now, we do that sometimes.
We do that sometimes. I had a lot of fun doing it. I just didn't think I was good at playing the farming game. I felt like I was doing it wrong constantly.
Well, you had people watching you who had already played the game, and you'd never played it before.
That's
So,
true. They did help me
no
find
surprise.
an axe.
I thought you just started with the axe.
No, I had to find somebody else's axe. I think you missed that part.
Yeah, I might have.
But I had to find somebody else's axe. And one of the guys was just like, it's down there. While Pepper was like, now read your hints. And trying to like guide me through it, which I much would have preferred. And the dude was just like, it's at the bottom corner. Trying to learn here.
Trying to learn.
Gotta do more. Gotta be more. It all comes back to Dead Poet Society.
Yeah. Oh, Captain, my Captain.
Yeah. Oh, Captain, my Captain. Anyway, Mean Girls. You know what we gotta do, Tyler?
What?
We gotta pass some hash browns.
We do. You're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Mine was super easy for you. I'm certain you must have enjoyed it.
I didn't do it. I
What?
legitimately did not do it.
It was 5
I
minutes,
know,
Ethan.
I know. And my plan was to come home, do it after, because we just watched the movie. Plan was to come home, do it, so that it was like fresh in my mind before we recorded. Mm-hmm. And then I got home and I was locked out of my house.
So you couldn't do it while you were locked out?
I just forgot about it because I was locked out of my house and stressed about that. I'm like, we got to get this episode done. Tyler's got stuff to do tonight. You know, we got to do it during the daytime. Got to get the episode done. And so while I was like climbing in my bedroom window that I jimmied open with a screwdriver,
You climbed in your bedroom window?
did.
Why didn't you just come here?
because I didn't want to do the thing with the same microphone, and
All right.
it just sounds bad, man.
No, I agree.
And I was like, by the time you texted me, I had already like figured out what I was going to do, but I just forgot to do the video. So you get to assign me a punishment and I will add it on to next week's hash browns.
Okay. Well,
And I think
I'm
I
trying
already
to think
know
of a punishment.
what your hash brown for me is going to be.
Really?
Yeah. You're not going to
What
do the
is
thing we talked about?
What do we talk about? Oh, turtles?
Yeah.
I will do that. That'll be fun. So, your punishment, okay, I had to do a lip sync. You have to do a lip
Okay.
sync of Act My Age.
Okay.
By next week for the Facebook group. Ladies and gentlemen, free Facebook group. We hang out there, we chat. Please, if you're in the Facebook group, don't hesitate to post things, ask questions, do whatever you want. We want to interact. We want to hang out. It's a good time. Ethan's going to be posting his Act My Age lip sync.
Lip sync.
Or no, I had to sing it.
I mean, I can sing it.
What? I'll leave that up to you.
You sang it along with the...
Yeah, I want. Yeah, I thought you were gonna get mad at me for that, but I was also like, you know what? I'm just gonna go all in and have fun. So
Oh, I absolutely was not going to get mad at you for that. If I had more time, I was going to make you like a karaoke track for it.
Nice.
Because it would have been really easy to just add the couple instruments onto the Ooga Chaka.
Yeah, I'm sure the karaoke's out there. You probably just Google it. Yeah, you got to do an Act My Age karaoke, and I did listen to about an hour of the Elon Musk interview, enough that I got
got the
why is this the way that it is?
Yeah.
Or like, what's the interesting thing about this? Because I don't think what you're listening for is like any news or breakthroughs from SpaceX or Tesla.
No, you're looking for an insight as
Musk.
to the way that Elon Musk thinks about things.
Right. And it was fascinating, and it was also sort of eye-opening. Elon Musk is very similar to my wife in many ways. And I'll say that because like Emily thinks in such a way, this is why she's such a good salesperson. And she's also a very caring salesperson. If she ever comes to you to buy anything, she's a wonderful person to buy things from. But she's such a good like networker and salesperson because Elon Musk thinks of things in the same way she does, where it's like, if you came to me and said, you need to write a Grammy winning song, I would be like, I don't think that's possible. Like, I don't know what steps I could possibly take. I would need to go to school and study music for 20 years. And then I would need Pharrell to feature on a track. And then I would need to be in the right place at the right time. And the way, like, and I would look at these as all obstacles. And Emily would look at it and she would be like, all right, so I need to practice piano for 20 years. And then I need to get in touch with Pharrell's manager, get him on a track. And then I need to be in the right place at the right time. So I've got to show up to as many events as possible so that I'm noticed by the right people at the right events at the right time. And it's just like, she looks at all the obstacles as opportunities as opposed to obstacles, the way that sometimes my brain functions.
Yeah, like Joe kept trying to be like, Elon, how do you have time to do all this stuff? And he goes, I just do it. Like,
Right,
I don't
like,
think you
he
guys,
doesn't-
you guys think that I'm like in the workshop hammering nails into Teslas. Like,
Right, and he's not. He's like,
he's the idea man.
right. There, basically, I think what happens is he's got a guy, or he's got a team, basically, not just one guy. He's got an entire team of people that fully believe in him.
Right, he's got a group chat where he's
And
just like,
they've
here's
got-
an idea, and they make it happen.
Right, and he's part of that process. But it's like, you wanna dig a tunnel in Los Angeles? Why Los Angeles? It's where I live. It'd be very convenient to have a tunnel.
Yeah, we started
Okay?
with a hole.
Right. Well, how do you start that? Well, you need a hole to build the tunnel. So
We got a permit to dig a hole.
right.
He's like, worry about it step at a time.
Right.
And that's exactly why he keeps getting things done, is because most people are like, well, you can't dig a tunnel in Los Angeles. It. And they hang it up.
Why not?
And they just hang it up and leave. Like,
Right.
So I did think that was fascinating. I also thought it was fascinating that he doesn't get that he's Elon Musk.
I think he does. I think he's playing it off like, I think it's all partially an act. Because I think I've been in that same situation before where I've been like, oh, what do you... I think he sort of enjoys the attention and sort of enjoys the like... I think he's trying to play it off so that people are like quasi-inspirationally, where he's like, I'm not, there's nothing special about me. I'm Elon Musk. I have power and resources and I use them.
Yeah.
And you have power and resources as well. You may have less, you may have more, but whatever. You want to sell flamethrowers, sell flamethrowers. And if, the way to send them overseas is to write on the box, this is not a flamethrower, then write that on the box. Like what's the problem here?
Yeah. He just does things. He doesn't ask for permission.
Right.
He just does things. And
I also hate Joe Rogan,
Really?
by the way. I don't think I've ever hated a human being
Really?
more than I hate Joe Rogan.
Interesting.
Holy crap. That guy
speak on that.
sucks. That guy
Why?
sucks. That guy is actually something that also frustrates me with early Marvel comics. That guy is walking clickbait.
what do you mean?
Like he's just everything he says is like so out of this world and outlandish to make the sale, and it's so calculated to build value so that you buy whatever he's selling.
I can see that.
That being said, Bacon and Eggs merchandise in the link below. It's very good stuff. Very proud of what we've put together.
Fair enough. I'm trying to figure out a hash brown
Well,
to pass
I'll
at
tell you what,
you.
Ethan. You need. I was talking to you. You wrote the review on our blog, which is live for patrons right now. It'll go live for everybody on Monday on patreon.com/baconandegg. You wrote a review of an absolutely remarkable thing, and you and I were talking about it, and you revealed to me that you have tried multiple times to read Turtles All the Way Down unsuccessfully.
I have. That is correct.
I will say I understand why it's hard to read. It took me about 3 tries to make it all the way through. It's obviously not hard in the same way that like the Bible's hard to read.
No, I'm just having trouble getting into it. I'm not drawn into the character.
Right. It's very hard to love Asa. It's very hard to love Davis Russell or whatever he calls himself. But I will say the final act of that book is like one of the most important pieces of literature to me that I've ever read, and you need to finish it. And so that's going to be your hash browns. I will give you 2 weeks to do this, though. Now, if you finish it next week, I can give you another.
I might. I mean,
but
if I
will give
really,
you up to 2
I'm
weeks.
sure if I get halfway through, I'll just finish it. But
Right.
fair enough. Yeah, I can do that. I can certainly do that. Oh God, I don't know, man. I don't know what to give you because I feel like I keep giving you TV shows to watch and they're just not clicking.
Did you only give me one show? Oh, no, you give me 2.
Yeah.
Westworld. I would continue to watch Westworld. I don't have time for TV is the problem. I mean, I do. Like, I don't do anything. I don't have a job, but even though we do this and like media review is like our whole brand, I feel like TV is a waste of time.
Okay, so I want to get you out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Okay.
So can I give you a hash brown that you're gonna have to do over the weekend?
Maybe. What is it?
I want you, because I really want to see your review of this and see how you would do it. I want you to listen to the new 21 Pilots album.
I can do that. I know that 21 Pilots, there's a lot of stands for them.
It comes out Friday.
Okay.
And my plan for Monday's review is to do a music review for the first time. So I want to see how you'd handle that.
Have I not done a music review?
No.
Oh, because the first one, or the second one.
Yeah, I want to hear your take on Trench, which is not so, and that's the thing is like I don't know anything about it because I haven't heard it either. It doesn't come out till Friday.
Well, that's fine. I mean, I've actually considered having you review things that I haven't seen either.
So I'm gonna go ahead and give you that. So it shouldn't take it can't be more than 45 minutes long.
It can't be.
I mean,
It's not allowed.
can be, but it's only 9 songs.
That'd be a lot of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's not friggin' Dream Theater or Pink Floyd. It is, I don't know how long it is. Hang on. It is 56 minutes. It is also 14 songs, turns out.
Okay, so you lied to
I did. It was originally 9 songs.
me. I just tacked 5 on today.
I guess so. Anyway, you can listen to 4 of them now if you really want to.
No, I want to listen to it as a whole
I'm just saying there are
collective.
4 of them out. But yeah, listen to the new 21 Pilots record called Trench, and then and then review it next Wednesday.
Sounds like fun.
Cool. All right, back to Mean Girls for a few minutes. We've actually talked a lot about the movie.
Have we?
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, we got into good conversations about the movie. We actually talked about the movie. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Oh, my back hurts. All right, what else? What else about Mean Girls? What are your favorite parts? What are your least favorite parts? What do you love? What do you hate?
I actually do have a least favorite moment in the movie. Drives me crazy that they even included it. There is a scene towards the end where Aaron Samuels, who is the sort of, love triangle, love interest, is mad at Katie in math class, and she does really well on a test, and he calls her a nerd or something. But the fact that he calls her a nerd made me so frustrated, because it's that is, to me, the biggest indication that this was towards the end of the era where it was not okay to be smart in school.
Right. The era that ended with 21 Jump Street. Right.
Where all of a sudden it was the cool kids are really freaking smart, because it turns out if you're doing the same thing all day, every day, if you were to approach this from any other angle, it would be this is the extracurricular to being a teenager, is to go to school all day. So why wouldn't we praise the people who are the best at going to school all day?
Right. And then you got the kid in Spider-Man who tries his best to undo it.
What do you mean?
The kid in Spider-Man Homecoming who calls him Penis Parker.
Oh, Flash?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy who's smart but is also just a huge dick.
Yes.
But anyway, yeah.
Those people exist.
Yeah, they do. But yeah, so I agree with you. It is a little cringe that he does that. The welcome back nerd.
Right. To me, that was just Aaron Samuels, you care about your friends and your family and your mom, and you care about all of these good things. You seem like a pretty one-dimensional but pretty nice guy throughout the whole movie, and now you've got to come down on kids because they're smart?
Yeah.
You're in calculus too, man.
Yeah, he sucks, for sure.
And it's not
Aaron sucks the whole time. He never ends up getting redeemed.
He doesn't suck the whole
time.
Yeah,
he does.
What else does he do that sucks?
Because he knows Katie's into him, and instead he's just I'm gonna go keep making out with Regina.
I mean, here's the thing. He goes to Northwestern. Do you know what the minimum or the average GPA for a Northwestern student is
I know, it's a good school. You gotta be smart.
It's a 4.1.
I believe it.
That's better than straight A's, Aaron Samuel.
Yeah.
That's straight A's.
Well, probably not in 2004.
Dual and gov. Well, yeah.
I don't know how APs worked back in 2004, but
let's see. I don't know if I have this information available. I'm looking though. They only take 2,000 students. No, 4,000. No, 10,000 students.
They only take 2004 per year. I mean, 10,000 per year.
Maybe
they take
total. They take about 2,000. That's what it is. First time freshmen, 2,000 in 2004.
That's university admission. Yeah, I don't have that information available either.
I've got this very detailed PDF file
of the freshman admittance rates.
Yeah.
I've got that one as well. It's got trend lines and everything. Yield rates. Anyway, so yeah, Aaron is kind of a jerk in that situation. My least favorite part of this movie is any of the scenes where they're acting like animals.
You don't like that?
No, I don't. It's really cringy, and the Africa thing doesn't matter.
Yeah, I
she
think all
could
that
just
matters
be
is that
homeschooled.
she was homeschooled. Yes. I think the Africa thing, all it gives her is those comparisons.
Yeah, and it's a backstory for her being oblivious about everything and not knowing pop culture at all.
Right.
Which, cool. You're not she didn't have to be, Bindi Irwin and being well, this is how we solve it in the animal kingdom.
Bindi Irwin would be the nicest high schooler.
Right, but, even...
That girl would go to school and be friends with Eva.
Right, and I get she was homeschooled in Africa, but, she just wouldn't be that stuck into, people of, animals.
Yeah.
Also, this movie uses the word retarded a lot.
It does. You can't use that now.
Yeah, that's one of those things, over time, that has made me uncomfortable.
Yeah.
I've learned to think that is uncomfortable.
I probably would have said the same thing in 2004, but yeah. That was one of those things where, it was a very simple question. It was in high school, or in college, somebody was we're campaigning to end the R word. And I was like,
okay,
all right, I can get behind that.
Yep, sounds good.
And then immediately it was if you started saying retarded, it was you behind the times, man. That's offensive.
Yeah,
now.
Congratulations, we hate you.
Right, you're a bad person for saying that. I'm trying to figure this out. It looks like they did not disclose the GPA information, but about
still
86%
in Northwestern
of students. Yeah, 86% of students. Hold on, let me get the exact number. 2004. Odds are in his favor that, oh gosh, I really scrolled through this. Odds are in his favor that he got between a 1,400 and 1,600 on the SAT, combined verbal.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's high. So Aaron Samuels, smart. Took calc, smart.
Probably pretty smart.
Yeah. Well, clearly he's able to tutor her in math for the most part.
I mean, guaranteed. And the SAT has a lot of geometry and algebra 1 on it. It's meant to trip up seniors who are so far advanced.
Yeah.
Make sure that they've retained the information. Only 6% of applicants in 2000 for the 2004-2005 freshman class got between a 500 and a 599. Everybody else did a 600 or better on the math score. A 600 on the math score is pretty good.
Yeah.
I think I got a 660, and that was a big deal.
I don't remember the exact scores. But what?
I don't
What
know.
are you looking at me like that for?
I got nothing.
He just like, ladies and gentlemen who aren't listening, Tyler just like stopped talking and was just like started getting this smile on his face.
There's also in his favor chance that he got better than a 30 on the ACT for math.
He probably didn't take the ACT.
The ACT is a waste of time.
Well, not if you want to go to school in the Midwest or the West.
Really? Is that what they care about out
Yeah,
there?
it's like a regional thing.
Huh.
I did really well in the ACT.
Did you?
Yeah,
You went to school about as east as you could possibly
that's
go.
accurate. I mean, I took both of them because
Your school was
They were-
on the Atlantic Ocean.
it was like free or whatever for me to take the ACT. Our guidance department
Nice
paid for it.
glasses there, Ethan.
Thanks, man. I know how much you love them.
I think they're the worst. You look like Juju Smith-Schuster.
I guess.
Ugh.
I think you think that because of your unhealthy obsession with that guy.
I liked him for a long time. I did unfollow him on like all social media. I was like, Juju, you need to chill.
Did you want to beat? Right, that was the song.
He's
You
one
had
of
a
those
song
people
about
that
him?
does the Fortnite dances IRL. I can't handle people that do the Fortnite dances IRL. I mean,
That's the only reason I care about the Fortnite dances because I don't play Fortnite. I have Fortnite. It's on my PlayStation. It updates every day. I open it and it's
Yeah,
like
there's always-
Fortnite updated. I'm like off.
you should play. I'm gonna stream Fortnite with the Bakey. I'm excited.
You are?
Yeah.
When is that?
I don't know. She asked me if I wanted to. I was like, yes, anytime.
I'm jealous.
Yeah, you should be.
Wow.
Well, yeah, I don't want to brag, but
That's exactly what you're doing. If you don't want to, don't.
let's see. So, bacon and eggs. A whole year of
A
bacon.
whole
and
year of
eggs.
bacon and eggs.
I think I do want to talk
More
a
than
little
a
bit
year.
about the end of year stuff.
Okay.
So we can take a little bit longer with our closing ceremonies today.
Okay.
Is there any final thoughts on Mean Girls?
I love this movie. It's hysterical every time I watch it. You know,
It's
can't be
so
underrated.
good. It's so
Can't be
funny.
underestimated. You want to go ahead and wrap up then and do the?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me get the.
So
Let me get the big board. The last update we're gonna
So-
make to this list.
this is exciting. I'm excited for a new big board. I'm excited for a new number 1 starting next week.
Yeah, the new big board.
Nax Kapam and eggs is what I just typed in.
Oh, we have so many more posts than we used to.
I know.
This is
I
our
like
first
it.
post. Okay, got the big board here. Well, first of all, villain ranking. Regina George sucks.
She is well written though. I'll
She
give
is.
her that
No,
credit.
she's a great villain, but she's a terrible human being. You know,
Yeah.
she's no Darth Vader. She's no Sheev Palpatine. she's
we
no
didn't take over
iceberg.
Galaxy. She's not the iceberg. No, but I'll give her like a 7.
I
out
give
of
it.
10.
Yeah, I can get behind that. All right, big board. Where do we put this? I guess well, let's find some teen movies.
I know. Here's my thing about the big board is every time I go to it, there's a comment from our patron Bay, and she just says, "As long as Thor Ragnarok is the top Marvel movie, I'm happy." And it just breaks my heart because Thor
'Cause it's
Ragnarok is
not.
not the top
It should be but
top
it's
Marvel
not.
movie. I don't know. I think Infinity War is probably where it belongs.
As number 4 ever? No, absolutely not. I maintain that. My stock keeps dropping.
Mine keeps
Continues
rising.
to drop.
I'm sitting here like, was Jaws really that good?
Jaws was better than Infinity War.
Jaws
So was
was
Empire. So was Baby Driver. So probably was Monty
was
Python.
was this better than Spider-Man: Homecoming?
This? No.
Yeah. Okay. Whoa.
Maybe.
Whoa.
I don't know. I really like
Was this
Spider-Man
better
Homecoming.
than
Where is
Guardians
Spider-Man
of the
Homecoming?
Galaxy? 18.
God, that's low.
Well, if you look at what's above it,
It feels so low. It's such a good movie.
I know we reviewed a lot of good movies.
No, because
year.
this is not better than Pirates,
Okay.
in my opinion.
Scott Pilgrim. I think this might be better than Scott Pilgrim.
It's funnier.
Scott Pilgrim just keeps going on and on and on.
Yeah.
I don't think this is better than Civil War though.
I do think it's better than Black Panther,
You
but I'm not
do?
moving Black Panther again.
I'm surprised by that.
I don't know. Black Panther hasn't aged well for me. T'Challa's such a bad character.
He is a bad character, but Killmonger is a really good character.
Yeah, but it's not. It's the name of the movie is not Killmonger.
know.
Okay, so do you want to put it between Civil War and Scott Pilgrim?
Yes, I feel comfortable with
Okay,
that
so
assessment.
between there you have it, folks. The list.
There it is. It is not completely finalized. I will say.
Yeah, we're gonna
We
move
are
a
going
couple
to
things.
we're going to revisit the list on a special Sunday brunch coming out this Sunday. Might be longer than an average episode because we're going to do some Q&A, which you can join the Facebook group and ask any questions you want. There's a post in there asking for questions. We're going to do a Q&A about our first year. We're going to look at the list, make sure it's exactly where it is. We're going to do some like sort of top 5 type things. You know, what are some things that surprised you? What are some things that didn't surprise you? And really just, you know, talk about the whole year. We're also going to see what we can do to get the breakfast food from every film onto some sort of menu type option, like a restaurant menu or something like that. And we are going to sell that signed or not signed, whatever you prefer. I don't care. It's not my job. I mean, it is my job, but you know.
Wait, we're
I don't
making a
have to
menu
sign
now?
anything. Well, we're doing something that has all of the movies with their food, right?
At least all the movies.
Yes. A bare minimum, a white poster that has
won't
this
be
list
white.
in order.
It does not have to be white. We can use the logos, the big.
Yeah. But there will be something that has all of the movies on that you can buy
Yes.
for year one.
For year one.
For poster.
When that will be available, we don't know.
Soonish.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
Yeah. It was a lot of fun to do. We there's also some announcements going into our next fiscal year, the 2019 of Bacon and Eggs. We've got some really exciting projects coming up. We're doing a crossover episode for Justice League and Wonder Woman. The Wonder Woman half will be on our show. Justice League will be on their show, and that is with
Extremely Geeked Out. What's the name of it?
Extremely Geeked Out. Yep. Yes. So be sure to be looking out for that. We are also doing 3 episodes with Seamus in November. We're going to be covering Toy Story 1, 2, and 3 with Seamus Gorman for the first 3 weeks in November. And then on Thanksgiving, we'll be covering
You'll
Harry
be covering
Potter.
Fantastic Beasts 2.
I'll be covering Fantastic Beasts, The Crimes of Grindelwald with Jonathan Carlin, who is my brother.
I will be eating Chinese food in South Carolina.
I mean, I will be eating American food in Virginia. At my house, actually.
Me and my 10 best friends.
Ouch. Or is that the name of the band?
No, it's not. But I mean, I'm going to spend a month on the road with them. I'm either going to love them all or hate them all.
I don't think you can spend a month on the road with anyone and at the end of it be completely satisfied with how that happened.
Yeah, no, of course not. With 10 other people, or maybe possibly 11, possibly 12. I don't know how many people are in that band, / if they bring somebody else. But I think there's 5 of them, and they'll probably bring a merch person. But yeah, then one of those people is going to get on my nerves.
Right. Is there any comments you have to make, Ethan, or is there anything I left out?
No, it's been a fun year.
Oh, just as we were recording this, I was featured on an episode of a podcast.
Oh, is it out?
It is out. It was just while we were recording. I was mentioned. I think our Twitter was @id, maybe. We were.
@id.
So I was on an episode of the Creepy Critters, a Cryptids podcast. We talked about the Hopkinsville Goblins, which is the goblins that the Pokemon Sableye was based on. We didn't talk about that at all, but that gives you an idea of what the character is, and it's an interesting cryptid podcast. There's a guy named Jesse, very nice, and we talked about some fun and interesting stuff. A little out of my comfort zone, but it was a good time.
There you go. So go listen to that. I'm about to go listen to that, and it's gonna be good.
It's gonna be a jolly old time.
A gay old time. A yabba dabba do time.
Did you enjoy our first year of doing this, Ethan?
I did.
Do you want to do it next year?
Yeah, Tyler, I really enjoyed it. I've had a lot of fun doing it with you every single week for a year now. It's crazy. We've released, if you include Sunday brunches and the launch episodes, we've released 60-something episodes.
I know. It's been very exciting.
God, that's so many. We've sat in front of these microphones, talked about life, talked about everything, and sometimes movies.
Yeah, and sometimes movies. I think that's, a movie lovers podcast, sometimes about movies, is
yes, let's
really
make the name
of this show.
Longer. Bacon and Eggs, a movie lovers podcast that sometimes talks about movies, but mostly talks about whatever we want. No, because if you go back and listen to the earlier episodes, we spent the full 2 hours talking about Iron Man.
We did. I was afraid to talk about anything.
And now we've gotten better.
We have.
Should I go back and remix our first episode for shiggles?
No. Okay, George Lucas, how dare you?
Yeah, do a remaster.
What we should do is we should script out the first episode and re-record it.
Just get a transcript and...
Right, and then just re-record the whole thing.
That would be hilarious.
That would be... I wonder if we could get the same ers and pauses and uncomfortable.
No, it sounds super different.
Yeah, but this was fun. What else did we say at the end of the show? Or what haven't we done? So, Ethan, we got to do a breakfast food for this movie. Almost forgot it, as we always do.
It would have been really embarrassing to miss it on the last week.
I know. But I think this one comes to me very obviously. This is definitely a toaster strudel.
Oh, perfect.
And I'll tell you why. It's tough to get it right, but when you get it right, it's right. Okay?
It's timeless.
It's timeless. It's going to be in the back of your freezer for the rest of time.
Y'all still have that,
which, by the way,
still have that McDonald's hamburger? Didn't you have a McDonald's hamburger in your basement fridge for
No, that was Maddie.
What?
Yeah, her parents had a McDonald's burger in their garage, not in the freezer, literally just sitting in their garage for 10 years. It looked no different.
What?
No, this was Maddie. Yeah.
That's a name I've not heard in a long time.
She might be gone. I don't know. She's not. I looked her up the other day. But yeah, so that's this movie. It's completely timeless. Also, if you're looking to get retweeted, just tweet a picture of Mean Girls in the back of a freezer to us, and we'll be sure to retweet that at Baconandeggs23. Shout out Twitter.
Anyway, so Bacon and Eggs, a movie lovers podcast. Happy birthday, Bacon and Eggs.
So fun.
So fun.
Glad to have been able to do this with you.
It's been a lot of fun. I've really enjoyed it. I've really enjoyed doing this. I hope we can continue to make the show for a long time.
Me too.
So donate on Patreon.
So, if you want us to continue to be able to make this show, go to patreon.com/baconandeggs and check out some of the great reward tiers we got set up over there. So if you love the show, you can support the show. Patreon.com/baconandeggs. For $1 a month, we'll write a letter to you. Ethan and I will sit down and write it out and sign it, and I'll wish you have a great summer. And it'll be, usually they're like movie quotes or something content that we put on there, but sometimes we'll like do recipes or draw pictures or all sorts.
It could be
of
all
stuff.
kinds of things.
Yeah. There's not, it's not there's no prescription to this, but we do make them all unique. They're all different.
They are all different because we love our patrons.
We do
so
love
go
our
become one
patrons.
right now for just $1 a month or more if you can afford it.
Yeah, and you have $3 Team Bacon, Team Eggs. We'll shout you out on the show.
Mostly
$5
Team Bacon.
Mostly, currently mostly Team Bacon.
Nope. Mostly Team Eggs.
Currently, it's mostly Team Bacon.
Is it?
So if you want, I don't know. Isn't that what you just told me the other day?
No, we were tied. But I forgot which one I was for a minute. I'm supposed to shout out Team Eggs.
Yeah. So we're tied right now. Sway the tide. It's just $3. I mean, honestly. I was talking to somebody the other day. They said they went and saw a show, but they couldn't afford to be in Discord. Show costs like $30. That's like 6 months of Discord with Bacon and Eggs, which is only $5 a month. I mean, what's like, honestly, if this show provides value for you, if it makes you laugh, if you enjoy it, if you feel like it's worth your time, it really, really helps us out. If you can consider donating on Patreon, you get early content, you get awesome reward tiers. And if you want to donate on Patreon and you're interested in a different reward tier that's not listed, you can just send us a message and we can definitely negotiate. I mean, I'm not going to give you a $50 reward for $1 a month. That's just bad business. But we can definitely discuss it.
Nito Burrito, man. We did a whole year.
We did a whole year.
A whole year of Bacon and Eggs. We will have more about this in our Sunday brunch coming out on Sunday. But until then, you can find everything we do, everything we have. There's new merch down below in the doobly-doo, in the towel section, in the pants section, in my pants, in the description box, whatever you want to call it. Everything, all the links are there. Go look at them. Check things out. We got merch. We've got Amazon affiliates. We got all kinds of stuff.
Super duper fun.
Also, our links for our designer and our musician are down there as well. So yeah, go check everything out, man. It's good times.
Yeah.
Anything else we need to say?
I don't think so.
Fair enough. Well, thank you for listening to another episode of Bacon and Eggs. I've been Ethan Edgehill. He's been Tyler Carlin. And until next year, arrivederci.
And 4 for you, Glen Coco. You go, Glen Coco.
Check your level real quick. You sound a little low.
Pecky. All right, I'll turn it right on up.
All right.
Sound better?
A little bit.
Okay.
Okay.
You can be an astronaut if you want. I don't care.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway.